Welcome back. A new bread company recently marked its one-year anniversary on Grand Avenue in St. Paul, but its roots date much further back. Heidi Wigdahl has the story in this week's Behind the Business.
Welcome in.
At Rosava Bread Company,
Everything sourdough that you're seeing.
they know great bread takes time.
Rosava Bread Company is a bakery cafe that specializes in long fermentation bread, products that were baked 150 years ago in this country and that very rarely you can find today.
Steve Baldinger and his family would know.
Picture of that bakery in 1901.
They've been in the baking business since the late 1800s.
One of the impetuses of the name Rosava comes right from here. This is a replica of the actual bread bag that we used in about the 20s. In 1934, that's my grandmother and my father.
And in the 50s, Steve and his sister, the past, now honored outside.
Honor the tradition, but also this is about what are we going to do in the future.
Rosava is just over a mile away from the family's original bakery.
And the business scaled to a much larger commercial bread company. We really got away from doing things the way we started.
So they went back to the basics.
This is a bread that's, proofing since last night. It's gonna rise to about here. It will make a really nice loaf of miche.
Omri Zentamir is the head baker.
The simplicity of it, the fact that it's really just 3 ingredients, it's a bottomless pit of possibilities.
He got his start by building a bakery in his basement.
In essence, exactly how my great-grandfather started this business.
This is a traditional baguette. To be able to kind of be a part of this renaissance that really brings this staple food back to what it's meant to be.
No matter what's on the menu, it's all built around the bread. One of Steve's dad's dreams realized.
This was about a month before he passed away. It was so much a part of kind of his dream to get back to the roots that I was really, really happy that he was able to get in here and see it and taste the product.
A taste that could only be achieved with time. In St. Paul, Heidi Wigdahl, KARE 11 News.
They went to the doctor for back pain, but left with permanent damage, even paralyzed. KARE 11 looks into claims against a well-known Twin Cities pain clinic from multiple patients who say that their spinal cord stimulators left them with debilitating injuries.
I slip, slide everywhere.
In another time, snowy sidewalks were a minor inconvenience, but not now.
Oh, I could walk, do everything fine before. Now, I can't even walk.
Not since a procedure meant to relieve Kevin Pribula's pain left him paralyzed.
They said I'll never walk again. It took my life away.
Kevin says multiple surgeries hadn't fixed his chronic back pain. So he went to the Edina office of Neura Pain Clinics. He says Dr. David Schultz suggested a spinal cord stimulator. This video from Abbott, one of the makers of the devices, explains how it works.
The doctor will place thin wires, called leads, into the epidural space.
Then an implanted battery sends electrical charges to block the pain receptors. Kevin had high hopes, but when he woke up from the procedure,
I had the worst pain I ever felt in my life. Across my chest, it felt like someone was stomping on it.
And he couldn't feel his legs. Medical records show he suffered a traumatic spinal cord injury, likely during the stimulator placement.
What are the things you miss most from before?
Walking, being able to play with my grandkids.
It really can change a person's life.
Everything changed for Amber Fuller just 3 weeks before Kevin's procedure. Same doctor, same clinic. Records show she also had a spinal cord stimulator placed to help with her chronic neck pain, but woke up in agony.
My whole body felt like it was on fire.
Later at the hospital, Amber was diagnosed with a traumatic spinal cord injury known as Brown-Séquard syndrome.
My right foot still burns like hell.
She has numbness and lacks stamina to go long distances without a wheelchair or to keep up with her kids.
Prior to when I was doing all the mom stuff, I can't do all the mom stuff anymore. So changed a lot of things.
Spinal cord stimulators are popular devices, roughly 50 to 60,000 implanted every year, and many are successful. But a KARE 11 review of FDA data shows Kevin and Amber aren't alone in complications. Searching spinal cord stimulators, we found in the last decade roughly 200,000 adverse event reports indicating injuries. That includes more than 900 reports of temporary or permanent paralysis.
I don't want this to happen to anybody else.
Kevin and Amber are now suing their doctor and Neura Pain Clinics, each arguing Dr. Schultz should have known they were at increased risk for complications. Kevin, because of extensive cervical and thoracic surgical history, which left behind scar tissue. In Amber's case, the lawsuit claims her small cervical spinal canal placed her at high risk of traumatic injury. And a third woman recently filed a lawsuit saying after a different doctor at Neura placed a spinal cord stimulator, she too was permanently paralyzed. Neura Clinics denied our request for an interview but provided a statement, saying in part, all medical treatment options carry different degrees of risk, which we review together with each patient prior to treatment and ensure they understand and consent to each medication or procedure. We are aware of the allegations and take them very seriously. In a court filing for one of those cases, Neura says damages, if any, are the result of pre-existing and or subsequent medical conditions, not their fault. But these patients say they'd never have signed up for this.
Had he said that, I probably would have left the room.
I never thought that in a million years. I thought I'd be better off. I was told I'd be better off.
There have been lawsuits all across the country blaming the manufacturers for injuries caused by the devices. But in these cases, against Neura, the plaintiffs say it's the doctors who are culpable because they went ahead with the procedure despite warning signs. For KARE 11 Investigates, I'm Lauren Lemanchek.
Thank you, Lauren. Stick with us. We got more news and weather coming up after the break.